Hello everybody and welcome to Insane Just Plays Dwarf Fortress. This is an amazing game and I've been loving it so much for so long, and I decided let's just make a video about it. So I'm playing this game with the Lazy New pack because it brings so much great things. It has built-in tile sets and we'll be using the Phoebus tile set for this Let's Play series. We're going to use the Dwarf Therapist and the sound sense that you're hearing in the background at the moment. And we're going to use DF Hack because it brings so many quality of life improvement that it's quite nice to actually start with. So we're going to start playing, and I already made a world for us where we're going to play at. And let's see what this world actually brings us. I already played with a fort a little bit in this world, and I must say I quite liked it, but I'm really curious how we're going to do it together now in this Let's Play. So I've also already made a startup build, and I'm going to explain a little bit what it is and why I choose things. But first we need to check for location, and well, around here is actually looking pretty good. There's some sand, some clay, some soil, some metals, both shallow and deep, and some flagstone. And all of those things are quite important actually to have for the kind of fort that I want to build. So let's just start here. Is this where you want to embark? Yes, it is. Now, like I said, I prepared a startup, and some things are not available. That's fine. But we're gonna go through what I have chosen for my dwarves and their equipment. And we're gonna take we have 3 points left now, and we're gonna take the things that were not available for this location as well, and get that back. So first of all, we're gonna have a guy that's a proficient miner. He's probably he's one of the few miners that I brought, because I like to go pretty hard on the mining in the beginning. Get everything cut out as fast as possible and then let them do odd jobs. And besides being a miner, he's also a leader, a conversationalist, an appraiser, a judge of intent, and a negotiator. This guy is going to be our expedition leader, who also does all our trading business. And in his spare time he's going to be the miner. And probably he will also get some other jobs, I'm not sure yet. Maybe, well, we'll get to that later on. Then Abel, I'm not sure how to say his name, and I'm gonna try it every time and again. This guy's gonna be also a miner because I like bringing a lot of miners. And he's also a weaponsmith, furnace operator, wood burner, mechanic, and a novice diagnostician. Now that's quite important actually. This guy will definitely be our medical dwarf if he should survive long enough. And a medical dwarf should have skills in being a diagnostician. The rest of these skills, surgeon and suture, they can be trained when the dwarves get hurt, and that's all fine. But a diagnostician, you need to have one level in to make him actually effective. At least that's how it's been for super long, and how I've always played. It might have been changed in the meantime, but I don't think it hurts to give him one level in that. And the way it actually works is with assigning these skills is like, well, you start at not proficient and it costs 5 points to level up. We don't have, and they all can have 10 levels in total. So for example, if I will take away 1 level of his mining, we received 9 extra points over here, because it costs 9 points to actually buy this level, and there you go, this goes to 10. And it goes for every of these dwarves, and you have a certain number of points in the beginning, and you need to spend it on these guys' skills, but also on stuff to bring with you, like for example, miners need a mining pick. But we'll go to the stuff that we will be bringing in a bit. First, all our dwarves itself, and Adam is going to be a proficient miner, has some skills in masonry and in stonecraft, and that's going to be pretty good. He's going to be a really useful guy. And this is one of the more utility guys. He's going to be a miner, a carpenter, a building designer, woodcrafter, bone crafter, a gem cutter, and a butcher and a tanner. And these last two are pretty important because we're going to be hunting for some food, and we will be able to tan some leather hides from that as well, probably. And of course, when you hunt for food, you need to butcher the animals, and then you can actually eat them. Dolmas is going to be our grower, and the grower's task is putting the seeds into the tilled ground and plucking the seeds when they are plucking the plants when they're fully grown. And that's what the grower is for. Herbalist is picking up plants outside of your base itself, which can be an extra source of food when you run out for whatever reason. And a brewer and a cook to brew the plants into drinks, like make wine or a good dwarven beer. And a cook, it's less necessary because your dwarves can survive without cooking their food usually, but he's gonna be quite useful as well. With that, we can make pre-packed rations for example, our military dwarves. Then we're gonna have a Dishmap, who is gonna be the wood cutter, and because of that he's also going to be a skilled axeman, because of course you cut your wood with an axe. And he has some skill in dodging as well, because we also make him a leader, a teacher, and have him some discipline. That way he can be our first military axeman in hopefully a long line of tradition for dwarven axemen. But that's probably not for the beginning. In the beginning he's going to be cutting wood for us. And then last but not least, Adil. Adil is going to be an ambusher and a skilled crossbowman, because he is going to be hunting for food. And because of that he has also some skill in dodging, leadership and teaching, and discipline, so he can become the first in a row of dwarven crossbowmen. So that's it for our dwarves. That's how I distributed the points on their skills. Now let's look at what I'm going to bring for the rest. I'm gonna bring 4 copper picks, which is a lot. It's maybe not even the best idea, but I'm gonna bring 4 copper picks because I like to do a lot of mining in the beginning, and usually when I queue up mining jobs, I queue up a whole lot at the once, and I want them to be done as soon as possible. Also, I'm going to bring an iron anvil. That's our only way we'll actually be able to use metal bars in the end. We need something like an anvil to actually make new anvils. So at least one anvil is really important to bring in your first embark. Otherwise you have to trade for it with other people, and that's just a hassle if you can just bring it here. It is expensive at 100 points, but it's definitely worth it. I'm gonna have a crossbow for our marksman dwarf with a little quiver and some bolts. These copper bolts will run out really quickly, and we will have to make probably some wooden bolts for him to hunt with in the beginning, but that's fine. We're gonna have a training axe, which we can use for cutting down trees, but I also brought a copper battle axe because it's just more awesome, and should the need arise that he needs to be in a military squad and deal with some wildlife, for example, that is attacking us, he will be able to do so. Much better than with his stupid training axe. We're gonna have plump helmet spawns. Plump helmets itself are the main source of food usually in my forts, and the spawns are just the seeds with which we can sow them. Some pigtail seeds, which will be used for paper making or cloth making. Cave weed, which can be used for brewing beer. Sweet pots. I don't remember what sweet pots are for. I believe you can extract some oil for them. At least the rock nuts you can. I'm not sure. And dimple cup spawns are for dyeing clothes. But I just bring some of everything so that we have at least a starting position with things, and especially pigtails a little bit more. Of course, the main food source will be plump helmets, therefore I bring most of them. And then just a lot of different tiny things, like some meats, some drinks, and such. And we're gonna add with N some new meats, and we're gonna put some eagle meat in there because we lost one. And we're gonna put we can get one more milk. Let's get one more milk. And also on the right side of the screen you can see I bring some animals. We bring an ewe and a ram and a dog one male, 2 females, 1 hunting dog, which will help our ambusher, some hens and a rooster, some ducks and a drake, and over here we have some turkeys as well. And they will be providing eggs, they can provide food if we slaughter them, they can provide children if they mate and such things, and of course our eel will also be providing us with some wool which we can spin to make some clothing. Now the only thing that we need to do now is for the name of our fort, and it's now named Ducimritan. Work begins. Well, work begins does sound awesome, but the name Ducimritan is a little bit difficult for me, but I think I will be fine. Yeah, I think I will be fine. We're done. Yeah, and we can name our group, which is the Telzuglar, the most ship, and I want a random one for that. That's not a fun one. So let's go with the early art. Adrovot, or the innocent crystal. The Flaxen Gate, a manor of creatures, the uncommon arch, the mountain of feast, the sorcerer's wall, the chamber of drills, Mafultos Wood. I like that one. Let's go with that one. And then let's embark. And let's get into the game itself.
This will be our new home.
Yes, it will be. You have arrived after a journey from the mountain homes into the forbidding wilderness beyond. Your harsh trek has finally ended. Your party of 7 is to make an outpost for the glory of all of Musarmost. There are almost no supplies left, but with stout labor comes sustenance. Whether by bolt, plow or hook, provide for your dwarves. You are expecting a supply caravan just before winter entombs you. But it is spring now, enough time to delve secure lodgings, ere the dingoes get hungry. A new chapter of dwarven history begins here at this place. Ducimritan, work begins. Strike the earth. Hello everybody, and we are back. Unfortunately the game crashed on me a bit ago, but I will do my best to edit this part and last part together and make it work again. I did make a save, so we should be fine on starting. So this is our starting location, and I've already played around a little bit with it, so maybe I forget some cool interesting things that I said last time. We don't want your update right now, Firefox. Thank you though. And let's start digging. We're gonna dig right over here in the beginning. And I'm gonna make it like 3 deep, not 3 wide, and like this deep. No, dig, of course, not cut wood. Cutting wood will be coming later. And I would like to go 10 tiles deep. And you can see over here the selection is 3 by 3 and 10 deep. So let's go 10 deep. Also would like to cut down some wood. Let's start like over here and then like this wide and this deep, and all those trees should be cut down. We'll be gaining quite a lot of wood of that in the beginning. Before I forget, we need to create a zone for our animals to be pastured in. Let's make it like this. Press N for making the pasture, capital N for going into the settings, capital G to remove non-grazing animals, and we have stray water buffalo bulls, 2 of them. We can't see if they're male or female, can we now? Oh, we can, like this. Yeah, so there are 2 females, unfortunately, which means that we don't have a breeding pair of water buffaloes, but yeah. And unfortunately they're both males as well. If they were females, I believe we would get milk from them, but now that's gonna be difficult. I mean, I don't want to drink the milk of a bull. Yikes. So we have set that up, and I think that should be fine. We should also check not on sound sense, but on the other one that I want, which is this one. So let's see. Workflow is enabled. How about auto labor status? Auto labor is not enabled. auto labor 1. Auto labor status. Fine. This. 2 idle, 5 exclusive. Now we're going to go to Dwarf Therapist. Here you can see all our jobs that dwarves can do, and we can select or manually what they should and what they shouldn't do. But now with auto labor enabled, auto labor will do it for us as well, and that's really useful. It's gonna make life a little bit easier. Now I would say just go ahead and start doing your thing. Yeah, we cannot produce a couple of things. Announcement. That's from my previous playthrough when I played by myself, and I put some workflow constraints in of things that the game should do. But sooner than later, we should actually be done with that. Because we do have a training axe, you can see that 2 of our dwarves are actually cutting down wood, which is really useful. Makes things go a lot faster. Now we're gonna check where we want to make our... Well, I think over here actually. We want to have a farming layer. And oh, what is this? That's a heathrite. It's a copper ore, I believe. And I think over here, something like this, we're gonna make our farming layer. There's a lot of space over here. This should be clay. Yeah, this is clay. This is sand. In clay and sand you can mine perfectly. It's going a lot faster, but what I want to say is farm perfectly. So that's gonna be great as a farming layer. And I think I will set up the queue to dig out 10 layers deep our main fortress as well. So how do I construct my main fortress usually? Well, it's more like this, more or less. Go like this. And then over here we have, from this side, 1 shift click wide, which then brings us 10 extra, so in total L wide, 4 high, another like this, twice up. This is a stockpile, you can have many goods stored over there, and on the bottom, that's gonna be a workshop layer. There are gonna be workshops built over there. Make some entrances in that. As well, like this, and somewhere in the middle. I don't believe there is an exact middle. This is the exact middle, but we're gonna go like this. It's gonna block me probably like it always does, but fine, I'll do it like this. Then it's in the perfect center now. I love it. So like this, 3 up. Alright, this is the first part of our fort. Here is going to be a stockpile, some workshops can be built over there, great. And then over here we're gonna make our assembly hall, kind of. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want it bigger. Let's make it 15 wide in total. Should be 15, yes, and then 15 up as well. It's gonna be a really large one. Let's make it pretty by cutting out some of the things over here. If we're gonna smooth down the walls eventually, these become really nice circles. I love them immensely. They're looking so cool. Actually, maybe we should like take away some corners like this, and that means putting this over here and like this. Oh yeah, I think this looks even nicer. Oh, that's too much. Fill this up again, and then go like here. Fill you up. Hollow you out, and one more. Yeah, that's gonna look really nice. And then I want a storage place as well. I'm gonna make a door over there. Make it 15 high as well. It's gonna be a big storage, only 5 wide. And like this, there's gonna be some workshops over here. And then, yeah, that's gonna be storage where we keep our food and our drinks. So that's gonna be our first layer of our dwarven hold. And we're gonna make a hotkey to zoom towards it. So we're gonna press capital H for getting to the screen and press Z to zoom here. We're gonna name it main fort. I'm gonna do that with other layers as well. Like over here, I kind of want to have the screen zoom over here when we go to our gate. So we zoom over here. Then for our number 2 hotkey, we're gonna make it farms. And we're gonna zoom, well, that's over here. And then for our last hotkey that we're going to set, number 3, I want to zoom right over. Oh, that's our farms. I overrode our farms. No! This is gonna be our bedrooms, and we should dig out our bedrooms. Now there are a couple of ways you can do the bedrooms in this game, but I like to be nice to my dwarfs. Probably like here, because yeah, I like to give them enough space. Like 3 by 3 should be fine. These are pretty spacious bedrooms. They can do with 1/3 of the space. But like I said, I like to be nice to my dwarves. They are hardworking in our fort, and I want to create an atmosphere that they like to work in and just make them content in general, which means having good bedrooms. Oh, we should make doors like here. That means this top part can go away. Like this. Oh, too low. Whoops. And yeah, this is gonna be our first bedroom layer. Now I need to go back to my farms because I remember that I made the hotkey go away. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. And you can hear some slaughtering going around in the background. That is our hunter doing some jobs. And we have struck a lot of things. Tetrahedrite, mica, sunstone, red pyrite, red zircon. But our hunter is already out of ammo, I saw, so we're gonna go to our workshop place. Go to B for build, W for workshops, and we need to build a craft dwarf workshop. Why we need a craft dwarf workshop? Well, we need bolts. And we're gonna make some wooden bolts with this craft dwarf workshop. Also, I would like a butcher and a tanner for our hunting dwarf when he returns. And since we're close to our pasture here as well, I'm gonna make a farmer's workshop as well, so that we can milk our, well, we don't have cows that we can milk, but at least shear our sheep. That's something we can do. I really don't want to milk those bulls. That's gonna be a bad thing. And yeah, that's gonna be the beginning of our fort. It's glorious. We also need a stockpile. And we're gonna make a stockpile for ammunition, because when our craft dwarf is gonna make some ammunition, we need to store it somewhere close. And just a stockpile over here, just for ammo. That's gonna be fine. And now we can add a task. Wood, make bolts, make it repeating by R, and then Alt W for going to the workflow constraints. I already have one in from my previous play, but you make one by A, bolt of any wood, and then R for the range, and you can set it, and then I set it to 50 to 100 because I want to have a lot of bolts laying around, so that I don't have to worry that I'm ever running out of bolts. Now I hope that this goes deep enough that we can actually reach the sand or the clay. Oh, there's some tetrahedrite over here. I'm actually doubting if we're going deep enough. Too much stone. Come on guys, struck some, yeah, there's some clay, alright. But it does mean we need to go a little bit deeper over here. Oh, that's too wide. So, let's create some farms. Since this is clay already, I think we should be safe. Oh, let's just go from the top, shall we? That's the entrance, and then I make farms usually 5 wide. That's 6, and by 5. Entrance, do it on the other side as well. 5 by 5. We're gonna start with 4 of those. And that should be plenty for the beginning. And I also want to make one over here. Let's make one over here. And this is not going to be a farm, but that one's going to be the storage place for our seeds. Now, digging a farm or through clay or sand is going to be really fast, so this should be dug out in no time. And I do believe that the dwarves go towards the tile that is closest to them for digging out the next place. That's why they skip some of these things over here. And there will be some equipment mismatches, and that happens when you switch jobs so often, like you do with the workflow DF hack. He switches jobs for dwarves quite often, and then sometimes you just miss your equipment. So we're gonna make a farm plot, and this is a perfect place for farms because this is on clay soil. And with U and K I can make it wider and higher. Let's do it over here as well. Press U, press K, make a farm plot. P for farm plot. U, K, P for farm plot. U and K. And these farms will be constructed soon because they need to till the soil so that they can start doing some planting of the seed. And our grower already sees the job and immediately goes there, starts constructing the site. And when he is done constructing, we can tell him that he should also plant in here. So our first priority is going to make the plump helmets. And right now we are selecting spring. You can see it over here. And C is autumn, B is summer, and D is winter. And what you can see in there as well is that every season has different things that it can grow. So autumn has the most things that can grow. Oh no, summer actually. Summer has pretty much everything for underground. And winter only plump helmets and spring. Well, this is going to be a plump helmet farm. And we're going to press shift and then enter. And now it's going to be a plump helmet farm throughout all seasons. Shift enter is all seasons. So people should now start planting plump helmets in that farm. It's a farm plot of 25 spaces, 5 by 5, and we have 30 plump helmet spawns, so there's not enough actually to plant all the plump helmet spawns, but they will grow quite quickly and then that will be fine. Now our seed storage is also finished and we're gonna make a stockpile of it. And seeds are considered a food in this game, so we're gonna make a food stockpile, but we don't want food to be stored over here. So we're gonna go into the change settings and then forbid pretty much everything except for seeds. So we're gonna permit seeds with P, and now only seeds can be stored in the stockpile. Perfect, because that's exactly what we wanted. And our other 3 farms are almost ready as well. And we keep structuring new things. Now, what do we want? Plump helmets we have. We don't really need dimple cups, so we're gonna make a quarry bush place, a pigtail place, and a cave wheat place. We don't have everything yet that we have seeds for, so we want to dig out a little bit more as well. The reason why I don't dig these out immediately is because they're of less priority to me. I kind of hope that this is not actually still some stone. There is some risk that it is, but hopefully it won't be. Because I kind of want this to be dug out as well. This is going to be more important. But yeah, I think this is going to be it for the first episode. Next episode we will probably see the construction of our main fort going further, our bedrooms, and maybe even our first seeds bringing plants, our first harvest in the new fortress. And until then, I really hope you guys will be enjoying me playing Dwarf Fortress. I really enjoy this game. I know it's really difficult for many people to get into, and graphics are not stellar, but hopefully I'll be able to learn you some things. If you have questions about the game, please post them in the comments. I will try to answer all of them as thoroughly as possible. And for the rest, until next time, bye bye.